Wigwam is magical.
The Wigwam is a community identifier.
The Wigwam brought everybody together.
At one time, this was the largest high school gym in the nation.
Featured in Sports Illustrated magazine.
Back in the 60s, 70s, most of the 80s, that was your Friday and Saturday night.
I grew up in Anderson, and I had the privilege of playing basketball right here in the Wigwam.
I played when it was a packed house.
It's just pandemonium.
I couldn't believe the energy.
It was like going into an NBA palace.
All the fans are just so much into it.
8,000 people show up at a basketball game was just mind-blowing.
And if you had all three high school teams, you had close to 15,000 people attending a high school basketball game on a Friday night in Anderson, Indiana.
I remember my first game, one of the two unique things about it was seeing kids outside scalping tickets.
We actually scalped tickets for a high school basketball game.
The other was coming in and just seeing all these people.
I was like, wow. Just looking up and seeing the stands filled up to the rafters, even up in XX and YY.
There was only standing room only.
The stairs were covered too. It was nothing but people.
It blew me away.
A lot of people came. This is where they saw people from week to week.
And it just, brought this community together.
There's just such an important tradition that this building represents.
I can't think of any other place more special.
A lot of people miss this facility.
You don't come across those very often, and when you have them, you need to keep them.
It's an icon.
I think that we're just not ready to let it go.
It's still a great structure.
The building itself is in very good shape. It's like an automobile. The frame and body and everything's still good, but your engine and your parts of it are starting to fail. Well, you're looking at 1960s here. It just needs a little tender care.
We've already done it with the Paramount Theater. It's happened with the Anderson Center for the Arts. This community already knows how to do that. We saved them and we brought them back to that glory. Because we did that, makes people believe we can do this. When we do this, it'll make the next thing seem easier too. So it all builds upon each other.
To me, it's a great recycling story. It's a great story about how we keep things that belong to us as community and that make us community, that identify us.
It's worth saving.
We need to act. We need to do something to save this historical monument and preserve those memories and the tradition.
The city hasn't abandoned the Wigwam, but they certainly haven't been able to afford to maintain it for an occasional basketball event. So, in my opinion, it's been waiting, ready for someone to make more of it than it ever was. And what it could mean for Anderson is really only restricted to our imagination.
Anderson has won their sectional, 51-49. My goodness, what a finish. Oh my, what a finish.
Everything starts with an idea.
It's exciting for me to think about the Wigwam being revitalized.
My partner and I heard the story about the Wigwam potentially being demolished and had this kind of wild idea that, hey, you know what? Based on what my company does, we thought this would be an interesting challenge for us to take this on.
The Wigwam has the opportunity to once again become not only the iconic community center that it was for basketball and athletics, but to take whole new dimensions that this community needs.
Programs that would bring the community together.
The opportunities for people to pursue things in addition to athletics.
People hear about the Wigwam and they think of the gymnasium, but the Wigwam is so much more than that. It's a huge complex.
This building actually has 3 separate areas for performing arts. It has an amazing choir room. It has an amazing band room. And right in the middle of that is a 900-seat plus auditorium. The whole second floor we really envision as the educational hub.
Hearing the ideas of performing arts school and the culinary arts school and athletics.
Economic development is important, job training, job skills, the arts.
Dance programs, art exhibits, acting classes. The idea of someone playing a basketball tournament and then going across the hall and taking a guitar lesson is exciting.
A a place for healthy living. People can come and get basic treatments. You have a food store, healthy foods like vegetables and fruits.
When we have these kind of programs in a building like this, they're going to come in and get something that they can't get at home.
Programs that are accessible, affordable, relatable.
It's limitless what is available here, waiting for talent to come through and shine. The Wigwam is obviously an expensive project.
This is a multi-year investment, at least $42 million. The Wigwam is going to be that primary talent and development center. And the land space around the Wigwam we're going to use for additional multifamily housing and retail space.
A building like this is not cheap to run and maintain.
At the end of the day, we have to make this project work. We have to figure out how do we finance it, how do we sustain it, and how do we keep it going, not just for us, but for future generations.
Most communities wouldn't have the resources to build this structure now. Well, it's already here, and to keep it viable is going to be a lot less costly than to rebuild something like this.
It is a community project.
I see this initiative and this opportunity as being an opportunity for partnership.
The most important thing are relationships.
Multiple partners and multiple people coming together in various ways.
We have a great partner such as JobSource that can ultimately be the general partner and run the facility.
You have to have good people. You have to have those people share your vision, but then you have to have good partners, and BWI was one of those. And so together, it has been a wonderful marriage.
This combination, the City of Anderson, JobSource, BWI, and some of the other entities that are involved with this development, I think it's the right mix.
For the first time, I really have hope that this could happen.
JobSource has been a vital part of the community for many decades. We are very vested in helping people become self-sufficient. We are a WIOA service provider to DWD, and so education and training is really at the core of a lot of things that we do.
JobSource is coming in, bringing opportunities for people who need training.
They have innovative ideas and they see challenges as opportunities.
Luckily, I've always got the key to the house. No.
We're projecting over 90 forward permanent jobs being created. And the impact on the number of people is well over 2,000 people monthly.
When you look at it, it's centrally located in the county.
This is in the heart of the community, accessible to the whole community.
Can you imagine people coming here and the activity that picks up here, what happens around our downtown area?
To bring people through these other parts of our county to get to Anderson, they may stop and have dinner here, or they may stop and buy something at a shop there. So it is very important.
Because of the size of the structure, there are so many things that could happen here.
I believe this could happen.
So many people are so passionate about keeping the Wigwam, but not just to keep it. It has to have meaning. It has to be productive.
Almost like a metamorphosis of going from the cocoon into that beautiful butterfly.
There's no reason why the Wigwam can't be something that helps people find out their passion, fulfill dreams, learn skills.
Positive programs are the key to change in this community. That makes us a better community.
I'm really excited about what's going to happen here. If it gets going and people get behind it, it's going to be great.
We believe it is a catalyst for future things to come.
Using the Wigwam as the centerpiece for revitalization in our community, I think would be a great beginning.
And so that's what we're excited about and looking forward to breaking ground and implementing here shortly.
Come find what you're passionate about, work hard, dream it, and you can do it.